In honor of Black History Month, Soul Mill Cultural Center is proud to present the Black Artists Matter exhibition to showcase art from some extremely talented local African American artists. I'm excited to interview our amazing artists, and I'd like to take a moment to get to know more about their artistry and the particular pieces that they've selected. Thank you so much for participating in our Black Artists Matter exhibition. Today's guest is Marselle Finnie, who is a fused glass artist as well as the art specialist at the Art Place, located here in Marietta, Georgia. So Marselle, I know that you have a background in art, being surrounded around your grandfather and your mother who were singers, and then also just having like a passion for music, dance, and drawing. So tell me, what inspired you to become a fused glass artist?
Well, I will have to say that from a very young age, that was really one of the early art forms that I saw consistently. My grandmother had this glass menagerie, and I just always loved how the light reflected. You know, like it was one of those things where it seemed magical, and the pieces seemed to come to life. And so from that, I was very moved by, okay, well, who created this? You know, how is this material able to be manipulated and created in this way? And, you know, being a little Black girl from Marietta, Georgia, you know, I really didn't have a lot of exposure at the time to different art forms outside of painting, to be honest with you. And so glass had always been something that, you know, I held near and dear to my heart, never really considered as a medium that I could create from. And until I started working with the county in 2006. So.
Awesome. Love to hear that. Okay, so I know that you have 3 pieces that are in this exhibition titled Black Lives Were Created, Before, and Being. So what does your art aim to say in this exhibition, or what is the message behind these pieces that you've included?
I really wanted to be able to bring an added layer to a broader conversation that it has already been happening. And really this conversation has been happening since Black people stepped foot on, you know, this continent. And so it's really interesting to be having this very specific dialogue right now with, you know, the climate now with, I would say more of the world is looking now at this subject, you know, Black lives and the movement and the traditions and the creations and the treatment, honestly, is what's bringing more of an attention to why it's important to have this conversation in this way. So Black Lives Were Created is not a phrase that's original to me, but it is one that I have borrowed in order to elevate the conversation to be a very distinct message about how vast that ocean is of what it means to be Black in this country. And so those that have had a chance to see the pieces will see that there are various references to what a Black life means, what it is. And I have father written on some of them, joyful, that it runs the range. And so the effort that I've put in cultivating this collection of works is so that it becomes this joyous connection that human beings, no matter what their ethnicities and upbringing and beliefs and practices are, you can appreciate life. Because really the message is truly about life. And the fact that there's a color associated with it really is insignificant. But for the sake of the conversation right now, we are talking about the inclusion and elevation and celebration of what it means to be Black in this country.
Very good. Very, very good. Speaking of inclusion, Marselle, what does the Black Artist exhibition mean to you as a Black artist?
Again, being a little Black girl in my community and seeing art and books mainly, not even really seeing a lot of Caucasian artists growing up personally. Just really looking at, art is accepted as being people who made something very pretty, very appropriate, the composition was balanced, and then they passed on. And now we're here studying what these people have done. So now, what I, as an adult, understand about art is that it is not just about our legacies. It is not just it's not just about our predecessors or the history of art. It is about the whole. Again, it's like Black Lives Were Created. It is a broader conversation about what is art and who has access to it and who can make it and who can enjoy it and where, And for me, it's always been important for me to have some sort of contribution on a regular basis as to what's being said, who's saying it, what are the materials adding to the conversation. And I know I keep using this word conversation because to me that's what art is. It is a conversation that is about the humanity that's in all of us. And so now I get to not only provide a space for our children, our adult students to make work and show in the gallery where I professionally work, but I also, as an artist myself, get to enjoy spaces where I get to share my expression as now this, Black woman in Cobb who's from here, still here, and wanting to, expand on opportunities for others, for women, for children, for myself. So
some would say that this particular conversation would be deemed as controversial, but what impact do you want your work to have moving forward, and how do you see the community engaging in this?
The impact that I want it to have moving forward is to have an impact at all.
Yeah.
I know that it's very easy to become very sensitized to phrasings. A lot of people and the media have been portraying the Black Lives Matter movement as something that's political. It is not. It is simply a conversation about human beings wanting to be treated as equal. That's all it is. And if you think about it, that's a conversation everyone is having every day when they wake up, go to work, go to school, their galleries, their plants, wherever your job, your focus is for the day. You want to be seen as a human being who is treated fairly and justly, and you feel safe and you feel happy and able to provide for your family. And that, to me, that's what this whole piece, this whole collection of my work is adding to that. Is I want for us to be able to have these conversations in loving, open environments. And I think art can provide that space where people don't feel as, like, oh my gosh, I'm really feeling, an intense or tense kind of way about it. It's like, oh, but look at this glass, look at the words, these items, these phrases mean something to me too. And so I want the impact to be a lasting one, that it bridges those gaps that really aren't even there, that we put there because of what we think somebody else is thinking about the thing. So that is the lasting impact, is to be space, to be an opportunity for a further conversation with another person, and especially that conversation being about the Black contribution in this country and in this specific Cobb community. I would like to see our public engage in more creative, positive outlets through the arts. It has always been a passion of mine, and I've been so fortunate to be able to continue a professional path that has always included art, and it has always afforded me a space to be creative, to broaden my understanding, and also have an inclusion where others can join me. They can also contribute, whether they're little children, whether they're senior citizens. I want us all to be able to come to a place and be like, oh, this is something very unique and beautiful. I've never seen this before in this way. I've seen these words and I've seen this material, but the way you put it together, this really touches me. And so I guess, I want people to engage, take away what you would like. I'm hoping that it'll be positive, and I'm hoping that it'll be an opportunity to have elevated conversations around what's happening today and what art people are making, and specifically Black people being seen as having these very powerful voices that we do have that speak for humanity, not just Black people, not just those that were murdered by police, not just the politicians that are trying, but that speaks for humanity's elevated, humanity's need to elevate and be more than and rise above the controversy and see each other as woman to woman, man to man equals. Perfect.
Absolutely perfect. Well, thank you so much, Marselle, for including your art into our Black Artists Matter exhibition.
Thank you so much to our viewers for watching. Please be sure to follow us on all of our social media pages at Sewell Mill for updates about our upcoming shows, classes, and events. Also, support these local artists. Thank you again for watching, and stay well.